Standing up here, and I knew we had a storm coming in last night, so I laid it down and I put the plug in it because I wanted to see if my leak fix worked. Well, you know, I suppose if I had it up in the air I could look at the bottom of it and see if I see any water dribbling out, but I think, you know, I can say that it certainly holds water. Yeah, holds water. So luckily this boat has a plug. One of the things I wanted in a boat is a boat with a plug, because when I was a kid I had a 10-foot boat and it didn't have a plug, and you had to turn it over to get the water out of it if you left it sitting like this, instead of being able to pull the plug out and let the water out like that. So anyway, now I know it holds water, I suppose. Yeah, I thought about last night setting it up on two big sawhorses so I could look up under it and see if it was dripping, but that involved too much work. And I was ready to go to bed by the time I was thinking about that. So, might be interesting to walk around and look at other things. You know, we had all this gravel put in. We haven't really had a good rain since we had it put in. Messing around with this boat, I disturbed the gravel. I had it all nice and level, and I dug it up, spinning that boat around. Also yesterday, I noticed where there's a lot of tracks on it, so I was out with my mower deck dragging it around. I made a couple of turns around here with it, and I noticed it works. It works. It does a fine job of smoothing it all out if you want to. But I did kind of want to see what it looked like after the rain, because I expected it would compact even a little bit more with the rain, and I'm pretty sure that's what it's doing. So it'll just be interesting to see how things look. I don't know what's going to happen today. I think it might be going to rain for the next few days. I've been thinking about getting this boat motor out. I've got the trolling motor, but I've also got a 4-stroke gas-powered 5-horsepower engine down here that I swapped. I swapped a shotgun for a boat a while back, and the guy threw in this old motor. He didn't know anything about it, and it turned out to be a 4-stroke 5-horse Mercury, I think. And I think the 4-stroke engines are probably still pretty valuable. So I was thinking, well, this motor just basically been neglected. I don't think it's been run hardly at all. But it'd be a good time to get it around there and put that motor in some water and clean this thing up, put a little gas to it, see if I can get it started. And it might make sense to sell it. I got something that I bought yesterday that I didn't have the money to pay for. I don't usually do that, but I was having a conversation with the lady who owned it, and I told her how much I had and how long I thought it'd take me to get the rest, and she said, don't worry about it, just, you know, we'll just consider it sold, and you pay me when you can. So there's several ways I can put together the money for that, but one way would be to get that motor running and sell it. I don't know what a 4-stroke 5-horsepower Mercury would bring, but generally you can look on Marketplace and see what they're selling for. So maybe I'll do that, and maybe if it's going to rain, I'll pull that motor around in the garage, get a bucket, put some water in it, and put the foot down in it, and clean the dirt dauber's nest out of it and stuff. Hey, Daisy. Hey, Daisy. Let's go around the other door, Charlie. She's going to want to run out that door if we open it. Mommy went for a run. Daisy likes to do everything Mommy does. Sometimes Mommy wants to go for a run in the morning without Daisy, and that's hard for Daisy to conceptualize. But Daisy doesn't seem to be real aware that we have a back door. She'll stand there at that glass door and sort of beg to be let out. It doesn't seem to realize that there's more than one door in this joint. Hey, Charlie. And Charlie's just going to stand there till I let him in. Well, Daisy, you can't go out. You can't go out. Charlie's going to come in. Come on, buddy. Daisy's like, why does Charlie get to go out and I didn't? Because we let Daisy out one day and She took off trying to find honey baby, ran down the road. Oh, you know how that goes. Not a good idea. Have her go running down the road. She took off chasing a deer one day, but then it took a little doing. Took out chasing a rabbit another day. It took a little doing to get her to get off the trail of the rabbit and come back home. That's the way it rolls. I'm gonna make some videos this morning too. My friend Paula took some phone videos of the dogs or something the other day, and maybe it was a trip. It was a trip up Coldwater Creek in the kayaks. But she wants me to help her make a video out of it, so I'm kind of looking forward to doing that because I think it has some fun potential to it. So I'll mess around and see what I can find for breakfast before she comes over, and we'll go from there. Hope y'all are having a good day. Love y'all. So here I am on the internet, and here's a 5 horsepower 4-stroke outboard Mercury short shaft for $1,780. That's a lot of money. I don't know what year mine is, and I don't know if mine is, well, probably knowing the year wouldn't hurt. But I'm gonna have to do some research here and find out. I'm gonna have to do a research here and find out. Oh, the joy. So here I am back out on the lake again. I've got this motor quite high. In fact, it's so high the blade just about tips the edge of the water when it runs. So I did that on purpose because I want it to be high enough to go through a bunch of trees and weeds, because I like to get up in there and do some bass fishing. And my handle, let me sit y'all up here, I think will make it easier to see what I'm saying here. See, from here it's pretty easy to get my hand on this handle and run the motor. I think before the handle was up here, and that's just harder. I'm all about comfort. If you don't believe me, ask George. Old go by Shade Tree Fix It Man. You just ask him. I'm all about comfort. He'll tell you. We've been having that conversation. But I'm liking this pretty good now. I could drop this motor some more with no problem at all. In fact, just for the heck of it, I guess we have to lower. Undo this down to lower the keys. Loose. Just slide them down. That's pretty comfortable right there. Slow too. So I'm just going to fish a little bit. Honeybabe's gone off to visit a neighbor friend, and I thought I'd come down here, float around, and do this, and see if my boat's not leaking anymore. Oh, and I oiled up this reel the other day too, so I don't have any weight on here except for a little shyster spinner. Run this fast enough to make that spin. And just go trolling through there. I actually needed to run it all. Just cut it off. Sit back here and fish. This video might not be about anything. Seinfeld made a television show once, and he talked about it being a show about nothing. That was one of his comedy routines, is it being a show about nothing. My videos could be about nothing. Nothing except this is what I'm doing today. I'm out here fishing. So I was thinking some more about that that boat motor. I'd made a whole long video and talked about maybe I'll sell it. But then I got to thinking, you know, I was raised in a world where we believed the end was going to come. We believed that the communist was going to drop a big bomb and we was all going to need fallout shelters and we was all going to need food stuffed away and we'd this and that. Well, it occurred to me, and even though that was the world then, it occurred to me, and it's always been with me because I was raised that way, that, you know, I might be required to live somewhere on my own without any resources someday. I might not have money. I might not have a paycheck. I might not be able to buy food. There might not be stores. I don't know, you think that way when you're kind of raised that way. And I was thinking about that little motor. What that little motor would do, it's a 4-stroke, so it doesn't need oil. It's a newer motor, so it would run on probably any kind of gas, whether it was non-ethanol or not. And it's advertised as a very economical boat motor. And I'm thinking if the world came to an end, you know, if whatever evil forces overthrew the planet and some guy had to go out in the wilderness and live, if you had a boat like my other boat with that 40 horsepower on it, 2-stroke, I can make about 2 trips over the beach and back, and I've used up a tank of gas, 6 gallons. I'm wondering how far I could go with this motor on a tank of gas. And I'm also wondering, you know, wouldn't it be nice to have a little boat that you could go from place to place on the water with if gas was no longer easy to get? Might be a good idea not to sell it, might not hurt to keep it. You just never know. It's kind of like having a pretty good old single shot rifle with some bullets. You know, one thing I've noticed, people that's got guns that'll shoot about 100 times is that they shoot up their bullets in about 10 minutes and then they're gone. But if you've got a pretty good old single shot, you're going to make every shot count. You're not going to be wasting ammunition. Just a thought. I guess there's one more thing I ought to say too. I had a conversation come up recently with a friend, and I just want to make a declaration and make myself absolutely clear. In my walk with Jesus, I believe in the love of Jesus and nothing else. I don't believe that I made myself good so that Jesus would have anything to do with me. I think Jesus loves me in spite of myself, and that he's always going to, and that I don't need to try to think about how to make myself better in order to make myself acceptable to him, because he's made me acceptable to him by his love. I'll stand on that, and I won't change my course, because that's what I believe. That's what I feel. What I feel is right. I'll stop talking about religion, I'll stop talking about politics, and I'll just sit out here and fish a little bit. Maybe I ought to make a camera mount that fits on top of this motor, and I don't know. I got to do something better with my camera mount. But I'll just stop talking now. I think I'll take my shirt off, and I think I'll stop the video because I'm not pretty when I take my shirt off. But if I stop the video, I can just sit out here and enjoy the cool daily breeze, not worrying about what y'all think. I think I'll do that.